Legend of Total War here, and today in this video, I'm going to showcase what the new Chaos Invasion is going to be like on Legendary difficulty. So this is the 20-turn guide campaign, where I continued it, and it hit turn 97, and this is where the Chaos Invasion has triggered. So far, the Chaos Invasion triggers way later, and now it comes with 12 armies. This is phase 1, this is before Archaon showed up. Now, another thing that I noticed is that their minor Chaos counterparts, they haven't seemed to show up. So if I was to go over to Nagaron, for example, we can see that the other Warriors of Chaos aren't there.
Ulf-One's Defender.
No, they're not there. So the guys that show up here and here, they don't seem to show up, at least in this particular campaign. Now, it's quite possible that if I was to be playing as the High Elves, they would probably show up here, and maybe here as well. I'm not entirely sure. But because I'm playing as Clan Moulder, I guess they want to give the player a bit more of a challenge, and so a Chaos Invasion over there would be of absolute no concern to me. Whereas if it's just here, I pretty much have to deal with this on my own, and that's a lot of force that I've got to deal with. Now, I can't see exactly how strong those forces are, so we'll just have to see how we go. But I have to now very quickly raise an army. Luckily, I've saved up a bunch of monsters, so I will try to get that together quickly, because I've got maybe 3 or 4 turns before they arrive here, because, let me see, are these guys war with them?
Ready for a
No. But let me just see if I can get them to go to war with Warriors of Chaos. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. Yeah, so they're just going to go beeline straight for me. They could actually end up going down here, so that'll be interesting. I'm curious to see how that goes. So what I'll do is I'll document exactly every couple of turns and see what they're up to, and I'll now prepare a counter force so that I can go and deal with them, because all my forces are currently fighting like the Reichland and stuff like that. This campaign's going really well, got plenty of food, everything like that. But yeah, I'm going to focus on dealing with chaos. Okay, so it's been a couple of turns, and they're basically just beeline straight for me. We've got 5 armies already here. There's probably more that we can't see. And there's some that have come around the new territories here, with the Silver Pinnacle being added. So, it looks like Chaos is going to split up a little bit. I guess if you own both areas. I'm pretty sure they're going to have some degree of anti-player bias. I mean, it is on Legendary difficulty. So, I was curious to see what their army compositions would be like. It seems like they're spawning with max experience. This was something that the previous Chaos Invasion didn't do. They would spawn with no experience and would gain experience over time. But the problem was that they usually get killed before they actually got to this point. So they're already starting off with max experience now. So this is a significant strength buff for this Chaos Invasion already. They're also starting off with full strength armies, whereas previously, the previous versions of Chaos Invasion would usually have like 17 units in each army, at least on wave 1. So I'm curious to see if we wipe out all 12 of these armies, will that just bring Archaon in? I'm not sure. So what I've done over here as well, I'm preparing 2 separate forces. They're still in the middle of recruiting. We've got a Brood Horror stack here, which it's going alright. Had a few bad mutations, which are turned into growth juice, but I've just prioritized putting in the cellular instability. I've got a few extra mutagens over here, but we'll see how we go. Just waiting for these to be recruited, and we'll see. And I've also got a weapon team Doomstack being recruited over here with the engineers. It's fairly low level by comparison to other ones, but we'll just see how they compare using the weapons teams versus the new Doomstack, the Brood Horrors, and see who performs better against Chaos. And we'll see how easy it is to get rid of them with just 2 armies. But what I'm going to do over here is use this guy. You might have seen me use this technique in my live streams playing as Clan Moulder, or just really as Skaven. What I do is I just recruit a Lord and pump in a few points into Ancient Cunning, and then attack them. Even though we can't win, we get access to 6 Menace Belows and 3 Warp Bombs, and you just hide in the forest and just pick at them. You lose, but they lose more troops than you do. And if this guy here dies, it doesn't really matter. I'll just recruit more Lords. It's no big deal. But I'm pretty sure that Volksgrad's going to fall, but I think I can save Prague. Over on this side here, there's nobody defending this. I don't really want to put in another Lord here, just because it'll be so expensive. My upkeep costs will go through the roof. But maybe once I get past Karag Vlag, I might put a Lord in here just to slow them down a little bit. I do have defenses built up all the way through here, but there's no armies. I reckon I'll clear them out fairly easily, but these ones here I'll have to play, you know, hunt down chaos with them, assuming they win against this, because I'll just ambush and lightning strike them. It shouldn't be a problem. Anyway, we'll move on and wait until the armies are ready. Okay, so the situation now with the Chaos Invasion, they've made a beeline straight for me. They've been pretty aggressive. The Volksgrad, it just didn't hold out any time at all. They just plowed right through it. Same thing over here. They attacked Karag Vlag, but now I did see them move back out this way. I'm not sure if they're all coming over this way. What I did was the 2 armies that I've recruited, I threw the Brood Horror army in here in the hope of, if they were to attack it, Brood Horrors would be better in a defensive siege than the weapons team. And I put this guy in ambush stance over the end turn, which I don't need now, so that they wouldn't see him. Now I can get him to ambush the guy that's actually besieging the settlement, and then this one can come out here, and we can hopefully in this turn be able to wipe out all of them. Now I don't have that many mutations on these here, and if I was going to get some more mutagen, which I might be able to get this turn, well, I could get it right now if I really wanted to, but I don't want wolf rats. I would just focus on getting the cellular instability on these, because there's only 10% chance of an instability. Otherwise, if I get instability, it's just not good, and I don't have a lot of mutagen. I had to build an army super quickly here. Like, this guy here is rank 1. So now I'll just proceed in seeing how much I can kill with just 2 armies. Okay, I think I will actually show this one here. So we've ambushed one of their armies, and I realized that because we don't have all warp bombs, but we got a lot here, I think this battle might actually be really quick. So I'm just curious to see how this will look. I'm not going to go lightning strike, and these guys will come in as well. But yeah, we only have 1 army to deal with here. So I think this will be interesting. So we've already defeated one of their armies. They lifted the siege. That was easily enough. Took 0 casualties, but some of the heroes took a bit of damage. And since I don't have the clan mold or clan stone, I can't heal them in between battles, so I got to be very careful with them. And you can no longer detach and reattach your heroes. So what we want to do here, just put them in control with 2. And these ones here, they can all bomb. Better used against infantry and cavalry, so we'll put these ones over here. This guy here is only rank 1, so he's not going to be of much use. You just stay over there. And we'll just see how this goes. I mean, in the Doomstack video, we did this to Reichland, and it worked really well. But he had a crap army. So we're going up against Chaos Warriors here. Let's see how this does. Don't need to charge in. Oh god, I love that so much. So I went with a... oh, where is he? I went with a Gracier of Ruin because I actually thought that Death Frenzy might actually be of some use to us. With the Brood Horror army. So yeah, some damage coming down over here. I'll have to get them all together. This is all fresh recruits, low experience. Yeah, I don't expect them to do particularly well against a giant. These ones here without any mutations going up against this, not super favorable. Let's get them out. Same thing over there, another giant. Even with Death Frenzy, it didn't seem to do very much. But once these guys get maybe 1 or 2 mutations, if they become unstable, and get rid of them. And get a few extra ranks of experience, they'll be a bit better. They'll actually get a lot better. I'm not going to worry about bringing in the extra reinforcements, they're just here to get experience. try to keep that giant busy. Alright, that unit wiped out. I don't think we've lost any Brood Horrors yet. This one here is having a hard time. Gotta get it out. I wonder, could I wolf bomb that? I can. Good stuff. Didn't do any serious damage to that. That means, yeah, you can be wolf bombed as well. But it's only really good against regular infantry. You can do it to a bit of damage on monstrous infantry. It's just not great. So, I'd say against the Chaos armies, the weapon Doomstack is actually better, even when considering a bunch of mutations. Like I didn't take half this amount of damage when we used the weapon steam. And even if we got the chance to fully recover. But then well, both armies are recruited at the lords are at the same rank. So, lack of experience can't be any excuse. The only thing here is that these guys here can heal when the battle's essentially over, which I'll obviously get them to do. And in easier battles, they'll actually, you know what would be better? Leaving that Hell Cannon crew alive and just waiting until these guys are fully healed before I actually finish them off. But yeah, so far I'd have to say the weapons team is performing better against Chaos. So at this point here, my side of the Chaos invasion has been dealt with. The 12 armies that spawned here have been killed. These guys here killed off like 10 of those armies, and then the 2 or 3 armies that came down through here, I defeated by just constantly sending one general at them and just dicking them around. I released a video on that like 2 days ago, where I detailed one rat versus the entire Chaos army. That was this campaign, and that's what I was doing there to those ones here, because I didn't want to recruit another full army, because expenses. And we sorted them out. They did blow up Steep Gore and Karak Vlag, but I just restored them, so it's no big deal. So I'm just waiting for the next wave of Chaos. But then I also noticed that Chaos still actually exists. So I was having a look around to see where they were, and I found that the Warriors of Chaos actually now spawn in Nagarond as well, up here. So the amount of damage that they've actually done to Nagarond has been extensive. They've blown up almost all of their northern settlements over here. They even got so far as to Nagarond. And if you have a look here, there's still, in some areas, Chaos Corruption characters around. And they're just... Nagarond is really struggling against them at the moment. So what I would say here is that the Chaos Invasion has just made the High Elves even easier once you get to the late campaign, because the Chaos forces don't spawn here. So when the Chaos Invasion triggers and you're going up against the Dark Elves, you could count your lucky stars, because the High Elves, you just don't have to deal with Nagarond for a little bit, or maybe the anti-player blast will go after you, and they'll just lose all their settlements. As far as I can tell, the Chaos Invasion doesn't trigger anyone else. So we're just waiting for the second wave here, so I have to wait for Nagarond to deal with that, because I don't have any forces in the area. So I'll keep documenting each wave as it goes through, and the difficulty that I'm dealing with as they're coming through. But I'm basically ready for them now. I've got my armies ready. I don't think I'll recruit a third army. In terms of their effectiveness, they both performed about the same. This one here did very well. I just kept this really basic, so I didn't want any instabilities. And this one here, it's always worked well. The weapons team's Doomstack, but he's just waiting here for them to come through. Alright guys, so this is the final wave of Chaos Invasion. So basically this is how it works now. It's turn 146. The first wave showed up around turn 100, and I took them out in about 10 to 15 turns, right? And then that's it until the final wave, which is this one here. And the first wave was 12 armies in the Northern Chaos Wastes, and I think there was 12 armies that came out from Nagarond. And now there's... oh my god, there weren't any beastmen in the first wave. Let's see, how many armies are there now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. It's about 30 armies. Jesus. 30 armies here. Now, truth be told, I don't really like this new system. It's like challenging in the point of just grind, because like I'm ready for them. I've been sitting here for ages. These armies of Lightning Strike, I got enough mutagen to get what I need over here. They might gained some ground, but it's just grindy. That's all it is. And I think what they've tried to do here is instead of having 6 waves of chaos, they've brought it down to 2, but made the 2 waves way more dangerous. But the factions that are going to suffer from this the most, I think Clan Moulder will be okay. Clan Moulder is very well equipped to dealing with chaos. And Naggarond, I think people who are playing Naggarond, and especially Hargoneth, this is like a really unfair disadvantage for them, because chaos only shows up in the north now. I don't think if you play as what's it called, Norsca, I don't think too much is going to change with their Chaos Invasion, because you can essentially just delay that as long as you want. I think they're still going to spawn 6 armies, but I haven't tested it out yet. But yeah, the problem with what happens over here is that they don't all just show up in one spot. So I think they show up there, here, and here. Meaning you're going to need armies all over the place, and these regions out here, they're basically just going to get blown up. So investing in them in the early game, I don't know how much value that's going to have to you. And you could be in the middle of fighting the High Elves and have to bring up your forces here, and also you might not be able to use your Black Arcs too much because you don't want them to get down too far. See, these guys here haven't recovered from the first Chaos Invasion yet. So I think the AI Naggarond is really going to struggle with the new Chaos update. And if you want to play as anyone in the south, setting, like, if for example, let's just say you're playing as Last Defenders. If you put the Chaos Invasion to Legendary difficulty, you're actually making the campaign easier for yourself, because you don't have to deal with it for such a long time. So it's a bit weird. I don't think that just adding more armies to a faction to make it stronger is a good solution. I think what Chaos needs is just a bit more of an intelligent approach in how they go about it. Like, something to do with the Chaos Portals that they are able to do. I don't know exactly what they could do, but I don't think this here is the solution for me. Like, I tried out the 10 times Chaos Invasion mod, and, like, while it definitely made it more challenging, I found it to be so boring, because all I was doing for hours on end was lightning striking Chaos armies and crushing them, but just over and over and over again. It just beat me into submission by boredom. So, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. But I'm not really super favorable about this, because, like, while it is slightly challenging, it happens so much later in the campaign now. I am so equipped to deal with this, it's not funny. Even if they did wipe out these armies, I could replace them like that. No big deal at all. And I think that if you were playing as the Empire, for example, you would have, by this point here, you should have consolidated the entire empire. You should be able to deal with it. So the key time frames to note for the legendary difficulty Chaos Invasion is the first wave should be coming in around turn 100, and the second and final wave comes around turn 145, roughly, depending on how well your campaign's going. Over the past like 10 turns, I've just been hitting end turn just to wait for this Chaos Invasion to come up, because I got like 137 regions here, and I just want to document this. But yeah. I really wouldn't have too much problem dealing with any of this, I don't think. It's just constant lightning striking. The big thing here is that they have to come down this way, and I just keep lightning striking, and I'm sure most of them can be wiped out by auto-resolve, because these armies here are just really, really strong. Anyway, that's the end of this one. That'll give you an idea of what you're going to be dealing with the Chaos Invasion coming forward in the 3rd of December. I think most people are probably going to deal less with Chaos now, just because, unless you're playing with the Northern factions, you're not even going to come into contact with them, and I don't think a lot of people even played towards like turn 150. I think a lot of people give up on their campaigns a lot earlier than that. So I don't know if this is the right solution, but we'll see what other people seem to think. Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the changes to the Chaos Invasion. I'm not favorable towards it. I don't have a problem with them making the Chaos Invasion more difficult. I do have a problem with them making the Chaos Invasion more boring, and this definitely leads to it being more boring. This is a very uncreative solution, in my opinion. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time, fuckers.